66 million years before your alarm clock exists to ruin your mornings, you crack out of an egg on a floodplain in what will one day be called Montana. You have no idea this is about to be the worst week in the history of the planet. Not one of the worst ever recorded in 4.5 billion years of the planet having weeks, but you don't know that yet. Right now, you're just hungry. You're a few weeks old, downy feathers, a sharp beaked face, long legs built for covering ground fast. Scientists won't get around to naming your kind for another 66 million years, and when they finally do, they'll call it something like the chicken from hell, which, frankly, feels a little early to judge. You've got a clutchmate, small, loud, permanently hungry. We'll call him Divot because he's already dug 3 separate holes today looking for grubs and found nothing in any of them. Here's a strange detail nobody's pointed out to you yet. Your feet look a little more like something that hasn't been invented as a word yet. Keep that in the back of your mind. It matters later. For the record, and this part actually surprises people, you are not part of a species on its way out. There used to be a theory that dinosaurs were already in decline for millions of years before any asteroid showed up, quietly losing the fight to time itself. The fossils say otherwise. Diggers working these same rock layers have found horned dinosaurs, duckbills, armored tanks on legs, and feathered runners like you, all still present and accounted for right up to the final layer of rock before everything changes. One horn from a horned dinosaur turned up buried just a few inches below that line. Inches, not the thick stretch of rock you'd expect from a slow fade spanning millions of years. Translation: you're not dying out, you're doing great, which is exactly the kind of sentence that should make you nervous. Cute morning. Won't last. Divot doesn't make it to lunch. A relative of modern crocodiles gets him near to the riverbank while you're both chasing the same beetle. Nobody sees it happen except us right now for about 4 seconds. Moving on, mostly because you have to. It's an ordinary afternoon. Warm, damp, buggy. The biggest problem in your world right now is a bigger dinosaur wanting your patch of shade. Then the light changes. Not sunset orange, wrong orange. The kind of light that makes every animal within 5 miles freeze mid-bite at exactly the same moment. What's actually happening 66 million years and about 20 minutes ago from where you're standing, a rock roughly the width of a small mountain has slammed into shallow ocean water near what's now the coast of Mexico, traveling faster than sound. You're not seeing the impact itself. You're seeing the afterglow, vaporized rock, thrown clear into orbit, raining back down through the atmosphere all at once and turning the sky into an oven element. You can feel it before you understand it. So you run, not toward anything, just away from the light. The forest around you ignites without a single spark touching it. Heat alone does the job. You survive the next few hours on pure luck. Low ground, thick mud, timing. A lot of animals bigger and tougher than you don't survive it at all. Then it gets worse in a slower, quieter way. It goes dark. Not nighttime dark. Weeks dark. Ash and soot from the fires and the impact blanket the sky, and the sun effectively clocks out. Temperatures drop hard. Plants that ran on sunlight start dying off in bulk, and everything that ate those plants is next in line, and everything that ate the plant eaters is right behind them. You spend the next stretch of your life doing exactly one thing: finding anything edible. Roots, seeds, scraps. It's not a heroic montage, it's just repetition, and it's the only reason there's still a you to narrate this. Every few days, the world gets a little quieter. Calls you used to hear constantly just stop. Tracks that used to be everywhere aren't there anymore. The huge, long-necked plant eaters go first. Too much body to run on almost nothing. The big predators follow soon after, because there's nothing left worth hunting. One by one, the background noise of your entire life switches off. Eventually, you can't remember the last time you saw another dinosaur bigger than something that could fit on a modern kitchen counter. And somewhere in the exhaustion and the hunger, a thought creeps in that you're too tired to fully process. What if there's nobody else left at all? Here's where the science gets genuinely strange. That fossil evidence from earlier, the horn just inches below the boundary line, isn't a small detail. It's the whole plot twist. This wasn't a slow fade. Roughly 3 out of every 4 species on Earth, across every environment, vanished within the same narrow window of time, not over millions of years, over one very bad stretch of days. You weren't losing a war you'd already lost. You were living a completely normal life that got cut off mid-sentence. So, did you make it? Depends what you mean by you. Meet the last dinosaur alive. It is currently stealing somebody's lunch. Here's the part almost nobody tells you outright. Dinosaurs never actually went extinct. Birds are, biologically, still dinosaurs, direct descendants of small feathered theropods that weren't so different from you. The ground-feeding ones made it through the exact nightmare you just lived because a few scattered seeds on the forest floor were enough to get by on, even when the trees themselves were gone. Remember those feet? That's why they mattered. You personally didn't make it. Almost nothing your size did. But dinosaur, as a category, absolutely did. It's just outside a window somewhere right now, judging someone for not refilling the bird feeder. So, no, you weren't the last dinosaur alive. You were the last chapter of one very specific story, inside a book that, it turns out, never actually got closed. Somewhere in the ash and the cold, and the several worst weeks in this planet's history, your extended family found a loophole. Get small, grow feathers, get very good at finding scraps. Not a bad ending, honestly, for a story that starts with an egg on a Montana floodplain and quietly continues on a park bench 66 million years later.